talk, now real talk, they wanna know.
More music on.
Bring you real talk, real music, and real moments. We are not just a station, we are a movement. High Power 102.7 FM, the pride of the people.
The time is 12 o'clock. Good afternoon. Here is iPower 102.7 FM Midday News. I am Florence Ibhareman. First, the headlines. Dangote reduces petrol price after Mid-East de-escalation. Reactions trail court ruling on political parties cancellation. On the foreign scene, Fattah el-Sisi, Mohammed bin Zayed strengthens Egypt-UAE ties. And in sports, Nigerian Super Eagles rank second most missing in 2026 World Cup. Details of these and more in a moment. Please stay tuned. Glad to have you back. And now the news and details. Dangote Petroleum Refinery has reduced the price of premium motor spirit petrol by 75 naira per litre. In a circular to fuel marketers, the refinery said the adjustment followed the de-escalation of the tension in the Middle East, which had impacted energy price in the past 3 months. It added that the new price is now 1,175 naira per litre, down from 1,250 naira, and the new rate will take effect from midnight. Away from that, the court ruling delivered by Justice Peter Liffey that invalidated the African Democratic Congress ADC, Accord Party AP, Action People's Party APP, Action Alliance AA, and Zenith Labour Party ZLP has sparked an outrage from members of the opposition parties who describe the actions as controversial and a threat to Nigeria's democratic process. Osun State Governor Ademola Adeleke and the National Chairman of the African Democratic Congress ADC Senator David Mark faulted the Federal High Court Abuja judgment directing the Independent National Electoral Commission INEC to deregister the 5 political parties, warning that the development could have far-reaching implications for Nigerians' democracy. Former Vice President and presidential candidate of the ADC, Atiku Abubakar, also condemned the judgment, saying it was a threat to Nigerians' multi-party democracy and an attempt to weaken opposition force ahead of the 2027 general elections. Now to Cross River State. The Cross River State government has spent over 1 billion naira on education sector since Governor Basi Otu administration took office 3 years ago. The State Commissioner for Education, Professor Stephen O'Day, disclosed this during an interactive session with newsmen in Calabar. To boost learning at the basic level, the Commissioner said Governor Basi Otu approved over 4 billion naira for printing and distribution of 209,530 textbooks and 23,504 teachers' guide under the World Bank Assisted Hope Program. Other updates he gave included the Ministry of Education Operations, establishment of the University of Education and Entrepreneurship, increased subventions for Unicross, enactment of the Senior Secondary Education Board law approval of the new Federal Technical College, and also focus on staff welfare, manpower development, quality assurance, and standards. The Defense Headquarters (DHQ) has announced the successful rescue of Aminat Abubakar, wife of the late Major General Abubakar Rabi, retired former Director of Defense Information, following a fierce encounter between troops and bandits. In a statement by the Director of Defense Information, Major General Samila Uba, the rescue was achieved during intensified search and rescue operation. Meanwhile, the federal government has resumed a mass prosecution of terrorism suspect before a federal high court in Abuja, following the earlier exercise in which about 500 were prosecuted. The Attorney General of the Federation, AGF, and Minister of Justice, Lateef Fagbemi, announced the commencement of the exercise, which is expected to run till Thursday, with about 600 suspects to be on trial. This media news is coming to you from iPower 102.7 FM in Morili, Owo. Still to come on the foreign scene, Fattah el-Sisi, Mohammed bin Zayed strengthens Egypt UAE ties. And in sports, Nigeria Super Eagles rank second most missing in 2026 World Cup.
Whether you're tuning in for breaking news, in-depth analysis, or community updates, High Power 102.7 FM remains your most trusted source. Because when it comes to news, the truth matters. High Power FM 102.7.
Welcome back. To be a part of our program, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok at iPower1027 FM. We are also on Radio Garden. Now to the foreign scene. Egyptian President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi and the UAE President Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed met in Cairo to strengthen strategic ties and discuss regional security, while welcoming the end of the Iran war and the reopening of the Strait of Hormuz, with calls for greater Arab coordination. During the meeting, el-Sisi stressed Egypt's unwavering support for the stability, sovereignty and security of the UAE and the Gulf state, describing the Gulf security as an internal component of Egypt's national security. The Egyptian president reiterated Cairo's commitment to supporting Arab nations in confronting regional challenges and safeguarding their interests. For his part, Sheikh Mohammed praised the strength of relations between the two countries and expressed appreciation for Egypt's continued support of the UAE and the wider Gulf region. U.S. President Donald Trump says the Memorandum of Understanding with Iran has all been electronically signed, and the Strait of Hormuz will be completely open by Friday. Also, Vice President J.D. Vance has called on the United Nations UN nuclear inspectors to return to Iran, while there will be no toll in the Strait of Hormuz during the 60 days of talks with Tehran. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says Israeli troops will continue to occupy southern Lebanon despite the U.S.-Iran agreement. Meanwhile, the 3 Iranian oil tankers and 2 cargo ships have passed through the Strait of Hormuz after the U.S. lifted its naval blockade. Now to the sporting arena. The Nigerian Super Eagles have been ranked as the second highest team not to not participating at the 2026 FIFA World Cup as they remain 26th in the latest FIFA Men's World Ranking. Also, Denmark, with 21st ranking, globally sit higher among the nations that failed to qualify for the tournament, which is being co-hosted by the United States, Mexico and Canada. Among those who has voiced their disappointments is England and Chelsea legend John Terry, who described Nigeria as a significant loss to a tournament that features 48 nations for the first time. Terry, who affirmed that Nigeria as a great nation will be a big miss, with the emphasis that he would have loved to see a top team like Nigeria there with their great players. Eric Shell's side finished second in the Group C of the CAF World Cup qualifier behind South Africa, who secured automatic qualification. To end the iPower 102.7 FM Media News, let us take another look at the main point. We told you in the course of the bulletin that Dangote Petroleum Refinery has reduced the price of premium motor spirit petrol by 75 naira per litre. We also informed you that a court ruling delivered by Justice Peter Luffy has invalidated the African Democratic Congress ADC, Accord Party, Action People's Party, Action Alliance and Zenith Labour Party as sparked an outrage. On the foreign scene, we informed you that Egyptian President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi and the UAE President Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed met in Cairo to strengthen strategic ties and discuss regional security. And in sport, we informed you that the Nigerian Super Eagles has been ranked as the second highest team not participating at the 2026 FIFA World Cup as they remained 26th in the latest FIFA Men's